Hello all, September 17th, 2012. Looks like we have a little bit of good news. So let's just go right over to the board and check out the regular news, and then I'll get into the good news. Alright, there's a new pipeline in Canada being proposed. It'll be going from the tar sands over to Kittima, where then they'll bring in ships from the Pacific Ocean and take tar sand oil away. Why don't we like anything being done with this tar sands? It's a terrible practice. It leaves nothing left of the planet, and I hope that you'll Google tar sands and then hit photos to see what I'm talking about. There's not much left after they start mining for this stuff. It's a terrible oil. It takes just about as much oil to get out of the ground as it will put back into the system. It's about a 1:1 to a 1:2 ratio of what you get out of it. It's really bad. Transporting any of this type of oil through a pipeline, especially through Alberta and then Colombia, will cause a lot of trouble, a lot of leaks in the pipe because of the sand content and hard debris of this oil, and it erodes the pipes and breaks it. As you know, we've talked about this numerous times. Many environmentalists are planning a sit-in, so go ahead and check out the link and update yourselves on what's happening with this pipeline. Now, the Koch brothers are saying that the XL pipeline through the US is needed, or that Canada will just put their own pipeline in. I'm saying let's let Canada put their own pipeline in. Let them deal with all that environmental mess. Why should we do it? Now, stop teasing me about the eraser. It's still perfectly fine. It's the pen that's having the problem. Well, is that camera correct? If you guys can't see me, just say something. Okay, this next news is some good news and some bad news. There's always got to be a little bad news with the good. First of all, San Francisco is headed into the realm of public power. We're going to do it through putting solar panels on roofs throughout the city and phase out PG&E, and then we'll pay our own power. It'll be public. There'll be no corporations involved with it, except one. So San Francisco plans on the skyscrapers and some of the big buildings throughout the city is to put solar panels on the roof, like this. They've already put several, and then the sun would convert the electricity, be converted into electricity and be put into the power grid in San Francisco, phasing out PG&E. This is very good, except for one thing. They plan on hiring Shell Oil, yes, Shell Oil, to install the solar panels. Our Board of Supervisors are no longer liberal. They're corporatists, and they think like corporatists, and of course they hire corporations. If any of these supervisors happen to watch this video, I want to show you alternatives to having to hire an oil company to put in the solar panels. This is Pink Barrio. Pink Barrio has the Green Sun alternative sources. So you go to the Pink Barrio website and you'll see that on this page that there are links to alternative power. We can get all the solar electricity you need without having to go to Shell Oil. And that's just one example of where you can go local, and you can bring the money back to San Francisco by having local installers install solar panels that you can buy from a green source like Pink Barrio. And you can hire locally and not have any corporations involved at all. You hire the labor and we'll supply the source, the green source of solar panels. So it's a bit foggy and kind of cold and chilly out, but let's go out and see what the barges look like in San Francisco Bay that supply oil and gasoline to parts of northern, central, and southern California and parts of Oregon. Okay, at this time I see 4 barges in San Francisco Bay. We use these barges to sort of judge on what the gasoline supply is going to be in the next, week or so. So we still have 4 barges. One's really small. It could be an inner bay barge. But let me show you one little thing here. Okay, see that? That's a ship being rebuilt. They actually do still build and rebuild ships here in San Francisco. You don't see them come over here too often to get refurbished. Every now and then one shows up. I think this is about the 3rd one this year. So Brent crude has been going up quite quickly lately. Let's go see what it's doing today. Okay, I had to redo the board. Stay. Alright, it just sticks there. Something happened with Brent oil futures today. Let me show you what happened. We started out about 116.8 and we did just dribbling all along, and you see my pen is dying. Alright, after it did the dribble, it came to a point where it decided to go off a cliff, and that's exactly what happened. It went all the way down below 113 and then came back up and did the Humpty Dump and kind of came back up and is at present about 114. We're going to have an opening. This pen is just shot. Crude prices. Let's see if gasoline is going up. Inexpensive gas station. Expensive gas station. As I'm heading up to Studio 7, because of the overcast and no wind, it's so quiet. Alright, we're at Studio 7. I'm going to go into the good news today. Shell Oil spent $5 billion so far on their Arctic drilling off Alaska, what we talked about last video. Well, it comes out that they have now decided to abandon the idea of drilling there this year because of pack ice, severe weather, and safety violation problems. What they said they're going to do now is just drill and cap. Apparently they start the well and then they cap it, and then when Obama eventually gives the final okay to permanently drill there, they'll go in and set up all the rigs above that, put in the infrastructure for the piping on the sea floor, and have like buoy systems where ships will pick up the oil. All that infrastructure will be put in, unfortunately. But for this year they're done, which is just excellent. It looks like we got through this season without an oil spill. Let's go right into the Miss Maple gas report. It turns out that I was getting some clairvoyance signals. Miss Maple gas seems to be getting some of my signals, though she isn't answering all the questions. But this is what I do know. Apparently they left between 1939 and 1940, and they left in a whole, they launched over, it sounded like she said 10,000 ships at various times into space, into orbit, and then they all went up together and either created a ship out of all these different ships or just used these ships as supply ships to head to where they were headed. I asked them, was it the Earth's moon? Was it, you know, Mars or Venus? And I got none of those. So then I had a funny thought about Planet X. Maybe they went to Planet X. Okay, one real quick question for you. Is there such thing as infinity plus 1? And if so, what's the number? So, until next time.